we live, boy. We seconds into this thing, too. What's up, everybody? I hope y'all can hear me fine. Welcome back to the channel. I'm just going to kick it with y'all today, man. We talking about Monique. That's the biggest story out here right now. It's other stories happening, too, but Monique is going on, and she been rocking out since her interview on Dude. What's Dude name? Shannon Sheezy. Shannon Shizzle. So we appreciate y'all coming back to the show. What we got for y'all today is just going to be a Monique talk again. So we'll start off with the audio from Steve Harvey responding to her because he had a dope ass response, but not even just to her. He actually was speaking to everybody. He spoke to more than just Monique in this particular situation. So, and I like talking about that because it seemed like all the comedians are just going in and fucking implode. They don't know how to get their shit together. When really all these people are like, in my opinion, I thought at least rich, happy, you know, living the life that they ultimately wanted to have or following their dreams at least. But it seemed like a lot of these people is like dealing with a lot of pressure and stress that come from either media being on point or being successful, or they just actually just don't like each other, man. So I don't see it in my history. So they trying to treat me on my history. So let's just write it in there then. Steve Harvey responds to Monique. And it's just a recent response too. Like he said this like within like the last 20 minutes. So let me see if y'all can hear it real quick.
Behind? You kiss your mother with that mouth? We've been doing this for years. Hello. And Disney Plus.
You know they push them commercials on YouTube. They don't give a fuck. Well, they like, we own this bitch. You don't like get your puss ass on.
The reactions from Monique's interview.
I'm trying to see.
By saying.
So that's not it. I just heard it. That's why I'm like, what the fuck just happened? It's on my man's show. I got to go to his show because they won't pull it up on my history. It's crazy because I just got to watching it. You know, it's in the fucking history. I don't see it. We're going to go to UPTV, Urban Politicians TV. He gave a response with Steve Harvey. I just saw his video on it real quick. I saw him. He did it. Was that him who did it? It don't look like he the one who did it either. But I just heard the Steve Harvey response, so I'm trying to see how do I find it again.
Additionally, he would say that
this comedy hype right here.
Same comedians are often involved in this type of drama.
I want to address
this is it.
What's being labeled as comedy beefs.
This is it.
This thing that's going around now about comedy beefs, it's only coming really from a few people. 85 South ain't beefing with nobody. And those are the youngest comedians.
When he throw 85 South in there, he don't let me talk about them young dudes.
Man, in these comedy beefs are people
Roblox, what it is, boy.
Aren't where they used to be.
Now, without saying any names specifically, Harvey.
Hey, that was deep. He said them niggas ain't where they want to be. That's why they acting like that. Y'all think Cat Williams ain't where he want to be? That's what Steve Harvey said. Why he talking? Well, we know Monique ain't where she want to be. We already know that.
Understood, particularly when he was on the Kings of Comedy tour, that each comedian would headline their own hometown. Bernie headlined Chicago.
So he's not actually going to talk about it, but I'll talk about it. But basically, he said that when they was on tours for the King of Comedy, he said that they would always switch up. You know what I'm saying? Steve Harvey said this. He said they would always switch it up if they went to your hometown. So since Bernie was from Chicago, if they went to Chicago, then Bernie Mac would be the headliner. And if they went to another town, then the other person whose city that was would be the headliner for that particular weekend. He said so. He didn't understand why the guy was fronting on him, saying that he was trying to headline all the shows because they didn't do that. He said he said he been headlining shows since 1995, and he said every time. So he said it's not even like this is hard to find out. He said anytime you on the show, they make the contracts before you even have the show. He said so they'll know who the headliner going to be. And then when you get to the show, whatever concert you're going to, they have them right up on the screen saying, on the wall saying who the headliner is. He says so it's not no misunderstanding. He was like, I don't understand what they talking about. They don't know who the headliner is on the show. He was like, they already have it up on the marquee when you walk up. So they was trying to act like Steve Harvey was trying to take the headliner on different shows. He said they only had one issue in his whole career where somebody was trying to take his headline. He said he had did a show in some town, and the promoter of this particular town was like a drug dealer or whatever, and he had paid them to come to do the show. And he said that he actually had liked Chris Tucker. So Chris Tucker perhaps had came in town that weekend. So he came to Steve Harvey and said, "Yo, do you mind letting him be the opener?" And he said, "As long as you pay me my money, I don't give a damn who to open. I mean, who to closer rather." He said, "Let Chris Tucker be the closer." He said, "As long as you pay me my money, I don't care who the closer is." So he said, "Bet." So he said, then Chris Tucker came to him behind the scenes. It was like, "Yo, if you're gonna do the opener for me, can you mind just keeping your show to under 30 minutes?" He said, "I did 28 minutes. I did my whole show in under 30 minutes. I did it in 28 minutes." So he said, so it should have been no issue of people trying to make it seem like that we was against each other, and this has always been happening. So it's just like one of them things where you kind of don't know who telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it was on Self Talk. Y'all need to go to Self Talk too here on YouTube. He got the dope channel. It says it just like it's spelled. So it's spelled just like it says. Self Talk. That's this guy's YouTube channel. Who we gonna listen to this audio from? I rock
That's
with
why
him.
people have such a problem with Cat Williams. People have a problem with people that says, "I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell."
That's facts,
the
though. You know
truth."
people don't
And
like
that
truth tellers.
causes a ruckus, and you would say, "Why are people upset with the truth?" When you hear Steve Harvey say there are repercussions when you tell the truth.
It is
We
though.
can't come out here and do it any kind of way we want.
Here's
to.
the audio.
Up the money game. This ain't the black man's game. This ain't the white man's game.
It's
This
the
is the
money
money
game.
game.
But
We in the money game. And
We're
you
in the
cannot
money game.
sacrifice yourself. The best thing you can do for
This
poor
is why I
people is
love my
not be
brother.
one of them. You cannot
We're in
help
the money
them.
game. But let me
Hey,
tell
that
you
was a
again,
deep point he said right there. He said the best thing you could do for poor people is not be one of them. That's not something you hear all the time, but that's really a deep ass point. Because who wants to be poor? Like, even if we've been in America all our life as black people, in other cultures, they've been here too, probably 30, 50, 40 years. Now we see the immigrants coming in, and we are like grown-ups now. We can see, we not children no more. We see that these people are standing on the side of the road. We see these people have no money, no food, no clothes, no nothing. And then it's almost like you could tell America is doing a trick. America's like, yo, you complaining? You want reparations? You want to shit to be better for you? Look, we're gonna show you people who is living like that today. You got a job. You got a place to live. You're not homeless. You went to school. You probably got a degree. But these motherfuckers is over here with nothing, and they grown ass men, grown ass women. They came from somewhere with nothing, so it kind of leave you with a standard of should I really be complaining if that's what's happening to other people. So that's a deep statement he said. Like, damn, don't be one of them. Who want to be living like the fucking immigrants right now, even though they might not have chose to be here, or maybe they did choose to be here. Who the fuck want to trade places with them? It ain't too many people in America today that'll say fuck it. I do it. No, you be like, oh shit, I hope God bless them and move the hell out their way. So let me get back to the audio.
before the money game. Before the money game, it's called the integrity game. And we've lost the integrity worrying about the money.
But Mo,
She hit him over the head with that one, boy.
If you
my children crumble, my grandchildren crumble. I cannot, for the sake of my integrity, stand up here and let everybody that's counting on me crumble so I can make a statement.
well, remember,
Now, what y'all think about that? So, two positions. You got her saying that integrity is more important than money. And then you got his position saying that I'm not finna let my family crumble over some fucking integrity. What are you talking about? So it's two mindsets. You know, she feel like right is gonna prevail. And he feel like, give me my check. Let me get to the crib and take care of my people. I don't have to be right. Look, you right. Well, whoever you are, you right in this scenario. Let me just get my damn money and go home. It's different strokes for different folks, and both of them, in my opinion, are not wrong. It's just who you are. If you're a person that don't really care about the money and shit like that, and you just want your principles to be standard, because you gotta look about it. It's all about looking at yourself in the mirror when it's done. Can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, yo, I stood up for myself. I said it was the right thing that I felt. Or can you look at yourself and say, in the mirror and say, yo, babe, or kids, we gotta move. Daddy don't have that, mama don't have that job no more. Let's go. Like, both of these positions is basically up to you. So it's like, which one can you face? Which one can you technically handle? Because if you can handle telling your children there's no more money, it's no more Christmas, we got to move in with auntie, cousin, bro, that's fine for you. If you could tell yourself that it don't matter about what's going on right now. You know what? I mean, shut up and just get past this week or get past this job or this day, and I'll be on to the next one. Like it's kind of up to the person. So you just got to figure out who you are. But I'm gonna let her finish talking.
When we were children, what would your grandmother tell you?
Tell the truth. Hey, what's going on YouTube? In today's video, we got Steve
So
Harvey.
he gonna
The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole
this
sitcom
Cat
and
Williams
then
part.
stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business, and it's a man unit.
They came hard at Steve Harvey, man. See, when you at the top, man, everybody gonna throw darts at you. Steve Harvey can't even really respond to a lot of this shit because he at the top.
Same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them.
My bad, Cat Williams sounds so mad now that it's been weeks and days down the line. Sound like he angered in a bitch, but it's just his
So I
opinion.
just wanted to throw the Cat Williams clip in just in case if you guys have missed it because it's been over a month now since the Cat Williams interview had aired. But I would like to highlight what Steve
Let's
Harvey
go with
had
Steve
to
Harvey
say.
now. We're gonna go
And
straight to
after
Steve
that, I'll
Harvey.
be right back with some more commentary, guys. But let's check out the Steve Harvey clip.
And don't forget
Be sure to give
Self-Talk.
this
That's
video
the channel
a thumbs
we
up.
watching right
Hit
now,
that
listening to
subscribe button
this.
If you're new to the channel, let's check out what Steve Harvey had to say addressing Shannon, Sharpe, Monique, and Cat Williams. Here's a video.
Well, I got a couple of things that's on my mind. My closing remarks are going to be seem a little discombobulated.
Now we got
I haven't really had time.
Steve Harvey talking about it.
Some thoughts that I've been
First
having.
response.
I want to address what's being labeled as comedy beefs. Y'all, comedy was never designed to be this. Comedy is a great art form. It's always been for the best stand-ups to come into
I agree.
people's lives, homes.
I hope y'all agree
theaters,
with
and
that part.
provide just as hard a laughs as we possibly could. As a stand-up, has always been my only goal. This thing that's going around now about comedy beefs, it's only coming really from a few people. It's really not the.
You know he talking about Cat Williams.
85 South ain't beefing with nobody, and those are the youngest comedic giants out there. 85 South ain't beefing.
But what 85 South got something to do with your town career, man?
Cats come from the hip hop culture. What you're seeing, man, in these comedy beefs are people who aren't where they used to be, and all of a sudden are using this thing called comedy beefs as a way to get some light shined on them.
I ain't listening, man. That's bullshit what he talking about.
It's just not.
You supposed to come out swinging, man. That man said you had a man unit on.
Let me explain something to you. I've been in comedy a long time. In my entire career, was there ever a question about who the headliner was? In my entire
It's all about being a headliner. They beefing over shit that happened in the comedy world, like being a headliner for a show. That's not normal people's life.
I have been headlining since 1995. The Kings, we switched up. Like if we went to Chicago, Bernie was closed. We went to St. Louis, Sayre was closed. We went out to LA, DL closed. Whoever's hometown it was closed.
That's a nice little way to hook up with a bunch of dudes you don't know and have a team effort.
Baltimore, Chris Tucker's movie had just came out. It was Fridays and something else that had came out. And my contract said I was a headliner in Baltimore. We got there, me and Chris was sitting up laughing. And the little new promoter, little boy had some money he ain't had no business having. He came in there and said, hey man.
See, Steve Harvey got experiences, man.
Chris Tucker had a problem with that. But we talked about it. I said, Chris, he the dude, he want that. I told him, just look, man, as long as you pay me my money, I don't care who comes.
That's the same thing I'd have said.
He came to me and asked me, hey man, just do me one favor, man. If you're going to go up first and he got me closing, could you just keep it to 30 minutes? I did 28 minutes exactly. That was the only time in my career. And in my contract, though, I was the headliner. But this dude decided he liked Chris better. I don't care who it is. That was the only dispute. Look, man, it's known beforehand in the tickets.
See, that's what I was saying in my last.
There's no such thing
That was about. I was saying this in my last podcast. I said, when you have a regular job, say you got a regular job and you've been working at 15 years, 12 years, 19 years, 6 years. That's called seniority. and the people show you respect and they look at you and say, okay, you've been here long enough, you could teach the younger people, or you might not have to do this, or you could get off on the holidays, your vacation might go in first. It's benefits. So it's the same thing in an art game. If you've been doing something for a long time, with the music, singing, art, movies, comedy, you have seniority. You have the same seniority. It's not a physical building that you're going to stand at all the time to do it. It's not like an hourly time frame that's locked in that you got to be there every week. But you're gaining seniority. So 30 years in the game, being a headliner since 1995. These are things that you're going to be proud about. Just like somebody with a job, they're going to say, "Hey, I've been down working at that place for 12 years. It's your seniority." So it's the same thing. I've been doing personally filmmaking for over 25 years, but this is my seniority. So I could probably teach a younger filmmaker this, that, and the third. But we all are in our thing where we put time in, and younger people are trying to build up time in their particular career, whether it's stock market, real estate, even internet, streaming, being a YouTuber, a blogger. You've been on here a lot of years. You're a fucking person with seniority. It's the game. So let them finish this conversation.
Mo's and all like that. You have a contract to sign, and that's who the headline is. And read the marquee when you get there. When you pull up at the front of the theater on the marquee, it'll tell you that too. It's all simple. So these beefs that people are having, it's always coming from somebody who ain't where they were. That's
Damn,
all
you
I
hear that?
see.
That's what I thought about
I
this
just
one.
wanted to put
That's
that
why I
out there,
wanted to
man.
holler at
Because
y'all
it's
about
not
this,
in the
because he
business.
hit him over
That's
the
not
head
how
with
this
that.
works, man.
What up, Rice?
It's
What
just
up,
not
Anna
how it works.
Swarwitz?
Second thing I want to
Sun
kind of
1390.
address is what I
Me and
see
my sister.
online
Y'all out here.
sometimes is people talking about that's karma. Every time something bad happened to a person, just for your little blog purposes or sensationalizing, you can't call it karma.
We say everything ain't
Everything
karma,
that
man.
happened in a person's
Things just
life
be.
ain't karma. Sometimes it's just called life.
That's crazy.
It's just called life.
What y'all
man.
think about that? Is
And
karma
bad
real?
things
Is
happen
things
to
happening
everybody
to
in
Steve
life.
Harvey because
It
he
has
did
nothing to
something
do
bad in
with
the past,
karma.
or was it just
It's
how
just
it played
like the
out?
course of a day. The sun don't shine all day long. There is a period called night. Even a day part has different parts. There's hours in the day. You can listen, man.
That's facts.
Everything that happens to a person is not karma. And just cause you see something negative happening to a person, it ain't karma. It's called life. If
Just
you're
life,
breaking
baby.
over the law for someone, it ain't cause there you go, that's karma. No, that's life. A person lose their job, that's life. Hey, hold on. The plant closed. That ain't karma. The plant closed. The
Right.
plant had 1,000 employees.
Right.
The plant closed. That ain't karma. That's life. A lot of stuff, y'all, is a test of your faith.
Hey, I like
There
the
are
speech
things
he
that are
giving,
going to
because
happen to
sometimes from
you
an
in your
older
life.
guy, you got
And
to
it's
hear
going to
this kind of
prepare
shit to
you
get
for
your
something
mind
else.
right. You know what I'm saying?
I've learned in my life, and a minister taught this to me. Everything that happens to you is God preparing you for what you ask for.
Damn.
If you ask God for more strength, God gonna put some situations and some trials in front of you that requires you to be strong. If you are asking God for patience, God is gonna put some stuff in your path that makes
See,
you
he
have
got
to
good
learn how
messages,
to
man, so
wait.
we got to hear
That
it.
ain't karma. It's life. It's a test of your faith. Stop letting these people fool you with their little sensationalizing acts that every time something happened to a person, they gonna put a story and call it karma.
See
It
that?
ain't karma.
It
It's
ain't
called
karma.
life.
It's
And we
life,
all
baby.
have to experience it. So please, man, be smart about this thing, y'all.
All right.
And we have
So I see that y'all got the whole glimpse of what he was trying to say, and I want to talk about that part. Yo, he basically saying that in his situation, he always was the headline. So we wasn't there to see that. So that's his seniority at his job. We wasn't there to know. We wasn't seeing the contracts. We don't know the promoters who called him since 1995. So we got to take his word on that. And the one scenario where he said something went wrong, we got to take his word on that. But when it comes to things happening like he's saying, I want to know what y'all think about that. My man Jay Legend says Steve Harvey is done. And that's again the whole position and point is that he's at the top, like he's the top dog. So just like when somebody want to talk about Michael Jordan, anybody who know how to dribble the basketball, they say, yeah, but this guy gonna be the next Jordan. But none of these people ever live up to that standard. You know what I'm saying? They just be good basketball players, even LeBron James. So with Steve Harvey being at the top, and then you got Kevin Hart, Cat Williams brother, coming out throwing so many darts at him, it seemed like that took him down. But technically, we trying to still see when Cat Williams going to do the next thing to lift himself up, because right now he's just doing independent work. He traveling the country. He getting paid good money. He doing his thing, but he's not on TV. He don't have a show. He don't have nothing that's like that's tangible. Like we could look at Steve Harvey on 5 or 6 TV shows, and he threw a lot of darts at Steve Harvey. So again, that places Steve Harvey at the top. That's the one who everybody comparing themselves to. You know what I'm saying? So but he's saying a lot of times, just like he's not, in a lot of ways, and it could just be his maturity. He's saying, I'm not a victim. Like, this ain't karma that's happening to me. Like, it's not something that I did in the past, and now all of a sudden I got to keep experiencing what's going on today. This just life. It's just the way it played out. You know what I'm saying? These guys had an issue, and they was funny feeling, and da-da-da-da-da, and now they came out the woodwork talking shit. So what? Whatever. And he looked at it as a test of faith. And that's something that we don't talk about, but we should talk about. Things that you're going through not being necessarily a karma, but a test of faith. Because we always look at it in our own life that we care about God, that we look up to God. But then when something go wrong, you be actually wondering and questioning God. Like, what the fuck is happening? You might even be questioning yourself. Like, damn, man, why am I doing this, man? It's my fault. Is it a test of faith? Did you do something prior to now, and now all of a sudden you have to eat the results of what the hell you did in this current scenario? Was Steve Harvey saying, no, it's just life. You keep living life, it's gonna always be some shit happening. And don't associate that with karma, or you did something back in the day, or your grandparents did something, and now, karma is deep, the way people try to connect it to your old grandparent. It's deep the way people talk. Or is it just a normal location situation? You was at this place and this thing happened. So it's just something to really gauge and think, because he's not treating himself like a victim. He's not walking around saying, man, why they doing me like this? Oh no, I ain't treating nobody bad. He didn't even address them by name. And you know that these people have personal beefs with them, but he didn't even address them by name. He just looked at them and was like, hey, they not where they want to be in life. So they're going to be mad at somebody, and they just chose it to be me. But I am where I want to be in life, so I'm not going to argue back and be pissed back at them. They can think what the fuck they want to think. Have a good life. And that's a personal position of being happy. That's why I look at Steve. I was waiting for Steve Harvey to respond. I wait on all their responses. But I'm sure publicists or managers told them, don't say shit. Let this just be a blurb in the news and go away. But just like my man Jay Legend said, this his career is done. And that's why I was waiting to see his response, because I would have thought he came back swinging. Like, boy, if you don't get your ass out of here. But when you at the top, when somebody compared Jordan, you really don't ever see Michael Jordan himself coming out saying, what the fuck you mean? Somebody better than me? Is you crazy? It's just he leave that up to the fans. You know what I'm saying? And what you believe or think is what you believe or think. That you never hear Jordan coming out. And I remember that one dude had his sons going into the basketball, play at the Baller family, and he had came out with a lie. He was saying that he had beat Michael Jordan in a one-on-one game. He was on all the news platforms doing this conversation when they would talk to him, because he around the same age as Jordan, but don't know Jordan, never met him. But the white people at the TV stations and shit, ESPNs, they was asking him, you really did beat Michael Jordan in a one-on-one game? Yeah, yeah, yeah. They eventually had to go ask Michael Jordan, yo, this dude, you seen him on there with his sons. Has he beat you in a basketball game? And Jordan simply said, I never met that man in my life. So they ran right back to dude and said, what the fuck you talking about? Jordan said he never met you. And he said, I lied. I was just lying. You see what I'm trying to say? So but when you go actually ask the best, what the fuck are these people talking about? He ain't know what the fuck they even talking about, because he's busy being the best. And what the fuck they talking about is what the losers talk about. So I look at that's what Steve Harvey is saying. He already got to the top. He's 60 something years old. We all know that Cat Williams and them ain't no damn 60 nothing. So the position is why would they be so mad at him if they chasing their own goals? If you got your own projection and position that you're trying to continue and get to in life, why the hell would you be locked in on somebody else? But 2024 has just been one of them times where people are coming out here and just putting they damn putting it out there how they feel. They not holding back no more. They letting it be. So we just gonna have to just watch all that play out and see who else got a beef in the industry of hip hop and what that do. Hey, Miles, your boy, go find you somebody to play with, man. I ain't people like you, man. I know you one of them kind of weirdos, but that's you between you and your mama, man. Get your goof ass out of here. I know it's somewhere you get rid of these clowns, but I know it's probably some shit like that. Get your goof ass out of here. Anyway, when you grind it, man, you just stay on your lock. You stay locked in. You don't really be so much caring about what other people doing. And I think that's what Steve Harvey at. He at the top. If you listen to Cat Williams, he said this nigga was lying. He was wearing a man unit. These are personal attacks.
The
He was
best lineup
fucking
in the
mad at this
business,
nigga,
and it's a man unit.
pissed off.
Then you ask it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to
You
be a
gotta see
movie
his
star. No,
face.
you couldn't be a movie star.
You gotta see his
There are
face.
30,000 new scripts in Hollywood
If you
every
see his
year.
face
Not
on
one
this
of them
interview,
asks for
you'll
a
be like,
country
damn.
bumpkin black dude that can't talk good over KB and look like Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, so you gotta
So
see his
this next
face,
story with
man.
Cat Williams,
That's
like,
really
yeah,
the whole idea when he get into that when he get into that point about this nigga had a man unit, and then you ask him about Hollywood, like that's venom. He had venom because Steve Harvey, he got them contracts, he's showing up to them places, he getting his check, he getting looted. So it's like, yeah, that might make somebody mad. It might make you pissed off if you got to travel the country. You got to make all these arrangements. You got to make sure flights is done. You got to make sure the building is straight. Security did the sweep. Everybody show up on time. The stage people right. The lights is right. The sound is right. It's 7,000 things that he has to be locked down on in order to make his shows go right. And a lot of shit probably don't go right. So it's a lot of work involved versus you go up to the studio or the building that you work at like a job. You sit in your office that they set up for you. When they call you, hey, you'll be on in about 10 minutes. You walk out front, make the people laugh. You wear your suit. Your job probably lasted an hour and a half. You take your shit off. You go back, put your jacket down in your office. You jump in the car and fucking leave. Steve Harvey life was a lot more chiller, but he did a lot of years traveling and doing what Kevin Hart doing now. Cat Williams and Kevin Hart doing that. Kevin Hart moved over into filmmaking. Cat Williams was in filmmaking, but then he not now. So I think that's what he said. These people are not where they want to be. And I would assume that Cat Williams want to get right back into the game. You know what I'm saying? And Monique went crazy too. She had a vendetta with him because of what he was saying to her in that moment, that integrity conversation. That was a deeper conversation because it's two different schools of thoughts in that regard. Who do you listen to? Who do you think is correct in that regard? Is it money or is it integrity? For me, it's always going to be integrity over money. That's just who I am. I'm not going to have somebody disrespecting me, talking down on me, trying to play me like some title, make them something. I wouldn't give a fuck who you is. It's own right when you think it ain't on its own. So that's not how I'm going to kick it. I'd rather be the CEO of my own brand. I'd rather be the asshole of the day myself, not somebody being like that to me because it'll be hard for me to sleep at night. It'll be hard for me to look in the mirror. But that's just me. And somebody else might be able to take that and be like, you know what? It's 200,000 an hour. I'm getting paid 5 million a week. I wouldn't give a shit what you say. It's just different strokes for different folks. So it's just what you do. What are you into? What kind of stuff is right for you? So for Steve Harvey, it's money. And I don't know if y'all paid attention, but after Steve Harvey did that interview, they closed down the show after that. They closed down his show. He lost his show right after that. He did that interview, and about 3 weeks, a month, they canceled it because he was giving a projection out to the people from his TV show saying that money is over integrity. It's nobody that's going to fucking go with that because money is just money. You can't die with it. You can't take it nowhere, and all you can do is buy shit with it. So it's no, yeah, you could leave it to your next generation of family, but what if they don't understand it? What if they use the money for drugs? What if they use the money for negative? And then you just gave them a whole bunch of money to use as a tool to destroy themselves. So it's not, you have to teach people about money. Jay Legend said, didn't the industry try to cancel Dave Chappelle? Shit, they did cancel Dave Chappelle. Put him on the back burner for 14 years. So, and Monique just said she did 12 or 13 years. So when they shut you down, and you have to be resilient. That's what black people are. They basically, because you'll do a decade, without being at the job or being around the people who you want to be around? Can you do 10 years and they don't fuck with you? That's what just happened to Dave Chappelle and Monique. But they didn't just do 10, they did 14, 13. That means a decade plus. That means Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July, all that shit. You at the crib with your family. They looking at your ass like you used to be in Hollywood. You used to be a star because people going to believe the people who are already doing it. Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, them your fucking enemies? That's not the best enemies. That's almost looking at it like the leader of the Crips, the leader of the Bloods is your enemy. So it's almost, these people are powerful. So they do have the power to stop people from working with you, stop people from wanting to be around you. They don't want to even look at P. Diddy today. This nigga would have been a mogul since I was a teenager. So now a rap mogul. Here we are 30 years into the future and he's a pariah. So who's gonna want to work with him? Some young artist coming up along the ranks and be like, yo, I heard of this P. Diddy dude. I want to sign to him. In our culture of the black culture, they can tear you down with their media. They own media. That's their thing. That's what we on YouTube for now. Because me as a person and an artist, I want to talk and have an opinion. But they own the media. So their opinion is going to be way more because it's going to be way broadcasted further. And you have more of a comfort with them because their culture, they stay on TV news every single night. They even got ESPN, which is 24-hour news. So they're not ever not giving a message. When you just hearing me talk right now, and you probably never heard of me or spoke to me or thought about me, you never met me. So you're just learning a new media. You're not no. I watch them too because we've been trained to do in America. But ultimately, those people are not the friends that you would think you are. And you see when regular people like them get thrown under the bus, what they do to somebody like me. What if I had a bad opinion? What if they figured out I don't want to work for them and be treated disrespectfully, or I'll bust them out like Monique do, or I'll get on an interview and say every fucking thing that they do, like Cat Williams do. A lot of people are not gonna want that kind of person around. They aren't gonna want that. You a whistleblower. As a matter of fact, if you look at P. Diddy personal situation, the only thing that they've been saying about him, and you tell me if I'm wrong, is that he throw gay parties, he throw sex parties, he throw parties with men that's doing this. It's everywhere. That's the biggest conversation. Yo, whoa, everybody is having sex with P. Diddy, P. Diddy sex parties. It's a constant conversation. So the idea is that did he do something criminal, or is the idea to smear his name, to smear it and tear it down and be like, yeah, you know, you're a heterosexual guy, he got kids and a wife or baby mothers and whatnot, but technically he threw the most sexual parties in L.A. What about that old guy who had Playboy Mansion? They never said nothing about him. They never said nothing about him throwing parties, and you know damn well he did. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the Playboy Mansion, we all know the names and the rumors behind that stuff. So, but you don't hear nobody talking about that. But when it comes to black people, they can throw their ass right into it, tear their name down. Media is going to destroy them. The people are all going to come around and say, damn, you did what? Oh my God, just like we thinking about Dave Chappelle. You did what? Man, they kicked him out. Now we look at Dave Chappelle and we can say, oh, he back, okay. Whew, lucky for him. Even Monique, she had a Netflix special. So you can look at them and say, oh, okay, they back in the game. They back doing it. Maybe they are, you know what I'm saying? But obviously with that interview Monique just did, she's still pissed off. She still ain't happy. So hopefully that should have worked out for her because I'm actually a fan of Monique. I laugh at her jokes. I like her. She's comical. She's very funny to me. And definitely Cat Williams, one of my favorites. So it's like you got artists out there that's doing their thing, and I appreciate both of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of all the people they hate as well, but you know they are very more quiet. And so when you quiet like that, how does somebody actually lock in with you and have a maybe you a victim mindset, or maybe somebody's trying to attack you mindset when you just be completely quiet, and then quiet for what? Like what you quiet for? Like who you hiding from? Like who's watching? Like you'll let somebody castigate you and disrespect your name and you won't say nothing? Man, that shit is different to me. I could never do that. That's why in white people world they say nobody has ever signed a confession and didn't do it. Because the idea is if you didn't do it, what the hell would you sign a confession for? But the reality is they slap them people around, punch them in the face, do whatever kind of, probably bribe them with food, or you're going to see your family if you just do this. It's all kind of tactics to make a person sign a confession. It's just not, they just ask you to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. Yeah, for sure, bro. I believe that too, Jay Ledger. But he always has been that, a gatekeeper. I mean, we got to think about it. He write his own work. He create his own stuff. So he's an automatic gatekeeper. Just like me, I write my own stuff. I create my own thing. So automatically, you're going to be a gatekeeper because the people who you decide to work with are the people who are going to be inside. You basically gated them in. So it might not be that they stay with your brand or company, but yeah, you as a gatekeeper because you open the door for that guy or girl. And the person or people that you don't let in, also you're a gate closer for them. So it might not be at the level where you get millions of dollars, but technically you're a gatekeeper too. Yeah, because you're making a thing, you're creating something, and you're deciding who the players are that's going to be a part of it. So that's what's happening. So in those moments, for instance, Hollywood, where everybody's rich and high famous, if you're a person that's going to go spill the beans or drop a dime or tell what's happening behind the scenes, yeah, nobody's going to want you around because a lot of this shit is private and it's no boss. Like in Hollywood, it's no boss. That's a lot of, like at a job, it's a boss. Probably got an office, but in Hollywood, there's no boss like that. You working for a time frame. You working for weeks or months. You're not working for 14 years. You're not working for 35 years. You're working just at this particular moment. And then you got to go and grind and hustle or maybe word of mouth and name recognition to get you the next job. And there's people who do that their entire career. But at a 9 to 5, you just fucking go to the job, sit your ass in the building, wear the outfit they say wore, and get your fucking check. So in Hollywood, it's different. So it's not really a boss. So this is why a lot of people get it confused, and nobody tell people this. One fucking point that it's not really a boss in Hollywood. So if you get sexually abused or mentally attacked, you're letting someone do this to you. And by the time you realize that that person wasn't even your fucking boss, well, the damage is done. Now they got leverage over you. And you didn't understand that point because you came from a mindset living in your town, your parents, your family, that a boss is going to ultimately be over you. But that's not how it is. It's a bunch of creative people, and they come into a moment together to create something. So they're bringing their own individual talents to bring this thing together. So that means if you're a fucking person that do electrician, what the hell would you have to, you can't boss the person that's doing the food. Or if you're a person that run a camera, you can't tell the lady that do the wardrobe shit what to do. That's her thing. And the camera's your thing. And the food is that person thing. And the electricity thing is that person thing. And all the people come together doing their thing to make this thing come together. But you don't understand. A lot of people don't get that. They'll believe that this person or guy or girl is above them. And that person know that they're not above them. But they also know that that person don't know that. So they're gonna trick you. It's games. Nobody's your friend in the game. Nobody your friend nowhere. And as soon as they know you can be tricked, well, yeah, come to the party. Well, yeah, because you're gonna think that what I'm telling you has legitimacy. So if I'm telling you to pop up over here and come show up here and just wear this and shit, it kick it off. And then when you get there and now it's your first time seeing this shit, and then I'd be like, look, nigga, go ahead. You're gonna do it because you wanna be down with me. You wanna fuck with me. You're not going to be like, no, and I got to work in the morning with you. You want me to continue to keep calling you. And some people might have to the position where they lose their soul, where they do something wrong. And now that person who you thought was your boss or friend or above you has this negative leverage over you. And this is why people be fucking hurt and be sad and be committing suicide. And they be saying this devil worshiping and shit like that happening because you just don't understand it until you understand it. And then when you understand it, then you be like, well, why the fuck would I go and do this and stand around them people where somebody could hurt me or disrespect me or, whatever the thing people try to do when they think you don't understand something, when you could just do it yourself. You're going to treat yourself with love. You're going to treat yourself with respect. If you treat yourself with love and respect, you might treat other people that come around you to work around you with love and respect. So it won't be where you trying to hurt people or trying to get some negative thing from them to take them under and shit. But there's people in the world like that, and we all know it. You could visit somebody, they lock you in their goddamn basement. It's people on planet Earth. You can't gauge and know everybody's man's mindset and thought pattern because you look at them. You just do not know. You understand what I'm saying? Until you had to be careful in life. And that's just what it is. Monique got a broken heart because she trusted these people, but that's too much trust to do with fucking strangers. Really, you didn't hang out with them. You didn't go to high school with them. These are people you met in a professional environment. And if they eventually don't like you, just like in high school, they're gonna tell all their friends, I don't like her, don't like her. And the same thing with Cat Williams. You have to get to the plateau that you're trying to achieve. Think about it. Steve Harvey, like 60 something years old. Cat Williams ain't even 50. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Steve Harvey is over 60. That means 62, 64, something, wherever the fuck he is. Cat Williams ain't even 50. So you mad at somebody to that extent over 15 years older than you. Bro, you gotta soul search and get your ass over that, because unless he smacked the hell out you, choked you down in front of everybody, went in your pocket, took your money and called you a bitch, kicked you in the ass and made you run your ass to the house, took your car keys, threw that shit down the street, made you have to go look in people's bushes to find them, you wasn't disrespected like that. You was just probably wanting to be in his position and nobody's gonna put you there. So now you just gonna be mad at the world. It's like angry. But it was entertaining. For 50 something million people to watch that interview with him on Shay Shay Club Shay Shay, that was entertaining as hell, because you just didn't know that this existed. I thought all the comedians were funny and laughing and it's a camaraderie. Hey, you go up next. But it's about joke stealing. It's about fucking arguing. It's about who got to be the lead on a show. It's a lot of, little behind the scenes stuff that just I didn't know it existed. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's it. I'm tired of talking y'all right now. I'm finna get on here with another one. I got more stuff to talk about, so we're gonna end this one and kick another one off. But I appreciate y'all coming to check me out. Y'all are the best. Thanks for responding and talking. Jennifer, Benny, hi. Bonsoir to you too. And I appreciate y'all. We're gonna get back at y'all in a minute.